UPNG Council welcomes inquiry. Opposition leader wants clear terms for Commission of Inquiry. Court rules in favour of late Hela Governor Anderson Agiro.
This is NBC Papua New Guinea National News.
Good evening, I'm Jerry Tave. The UPNG Council has welcomed the Commission of Inquiry into the UPNG student unrest. The Council has set no condition for the inquiry. The UPNG SRC also welcomed the decision for an inquiry, but with conditions. Amongst other conditions, the SRC wants the inquiry to be conducted by an independent body and not by any of the government agencies. Rose Amos reports.
Acting Chancellor and UPNG Council Chairman Dr. Nicholas Mann told NBC National News this morning the incident on Wednesday is very unfortunate as many students were injured and properties damaged. Dr. Mann says the UPNG administration have exhausted all its powers over the last 5 weeks to control students and contain the situation, but the students have gone too far. And he says he welcomed the government's decision to conduct an inquiry into the all UPNG unrest with no conditions set. The UPNG SRC, on the other hand, welcomed the decision for an inquiry, but with conditions. Amongst other conditions, the SRC wants the inquiry to be conducted by an independent body and not by any of the government agencies. Meanwhile, the UPNG Council is once again appealing for normalcy at the campus. Rose Amos, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Students at the University of Papua New Guinea are still defying orders by the University Council by not resuming classes. According to the SRC President Kenneth Rapa, students are said to be in mourning. However, the University Council says the university cannot force students to attend classes. Likewise, the SRC cannot force students to continue boycott. Mickey Cavera reports.
Acting Chancellor of the University of Papua New Guinea, Dr. Nicholas Mann, says classes at the University of Papua New Guinea commence today to complete Semester 1, followed by Semester 2 of 2016. Dr. Mann says if students don't attend classes, they choose to destroy their own future. He says the university cannot force the students to attend classes. Likewise, the SRC cannot force boycott of classes at the University of Papua New Guinea. The university has taken out a court order to protect students who want to attend classes. SRC President Kenneth Rapa says it is up to the students to attend classes. He received reports at the Waigani campus that students are still in defiance of the university's council's orders. He clarified that there is a court order in place and any further actions taken by the students whether to continue boycott or attend classes are entirely the decision of the student body and not of the SRC. Rapa has not returned to campus following the standoff with police last Wednesday. Mickey Cavera, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Terms of reference to the Commission of Inquiry into last Wednesday's shooting of students by police must be clear and unbiased. This was stressed by opposition leader Don Pollier. Pollier brushed aside calls by the Chief Secretary to investigate the alleged funding of student activities leading up to the confrontation last Wednesday. He said such matters were deviating from the actual shooting incident, which the inquiry should be focused on. Shulamalkan reports.
Mr. Pollier said the actions by police involved in the shooting incident should be scrutinized thoroughly once the Commission of Inquiry begins. There has been much criticism both locally and internationally in regard to the actions by police during the confrontation with students. Pollier said there are many good police personnel who conduct their duties by the law, but minorities continue to tarnish the reputation of the constabulary. While the inquiry is yet to be set up, Pollier believes its terms of reference must be clear and unbiased. He said there were several crucial factors that the inquiry should be focused on.
These are the issues that we'd like to know. What were the students doing? what was the purpose of the protest or the march or peaceful procession from the university to the parliament. All those issues are the most relevant issues. These are the issues that need to be put in the terms of reference of the Commission of Inquiry.
The involvement of an independent body will also be an important factor in achieving an unbiased and thorough investigation. Polias said the United Nations is an appropriate body that can head the inquiry. But if the United Nations is not able to facilitate this investigation, then the task should be given to senior and well-vested judges.
It needs to be independent and comprised of people who are experts on the subject of human rights and the work of police and protest and democracy and the rule of law and constitution, who will come from outside of the country to assess the situation.
Meanwhile, Mr. Polias said if the terms of reference of the inquiry are not suitable, then he will take the matter up in court.
And I will also challenge if it is biased, if the Commission of Inquiry and the...
Sheila Malkin, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
In its ruling this afternoon, the National Court in Port Moresby ruled in favour of the late Governor Anderson Aguirre as the rightful head of the Hela province. This after Komamagarima MP Francis Potape was declared governor following a Provincial Executive Council meeting last year. All parties concerned have accepted the court's decision and will convene during the next PEC meeting to decide who should head the province until the next general elections in 2017. Jehabakia reports.
Mr. Potape was purportedly elected governor of the province by members of the Hela Provincial Assembly, ousting the Hela regional member-elect Anderson Aguirre on 29th of December last year. On January the 7th, the National Court granted an interim injunction sought by Mr. Aguirre, restraining Potape and other members of the Hela Provincial Assembly from making any decisions in reliance to Mr. Potape's election. To maintain the status quo, the court restrained Potape from acting as governor and allowed Aguirre to continue in his role as Hela governor until the National Court dealt with the substantive issue. The matter was taken to court again with the decision handed down today.
The decision this afternoon. So all along, Governor Aguirre said to the media and informed the people of Papua New Guinea, people of Hela, that the decision, the steps that were undertaken by the other side in removing him was illegal, and the court found it true today after his death, that the steps that were taken, the processes that were undertaken by the Honorable Francis Potape and the other provincial executive members were actually illegal, null and void. So that's what the court found today. So we will take it on from there and then put the matter to rest, and we'll move on from here.
All parties concerned are in agreement on the court's decision, and deliberations on the next caretaker governor will be done when the Hela PEC next meets in Tari. Koroba Kopiago MP Philip Undialu has called for calm while justice takes its course.
Today, the National Court has declared Governor Aguirre's removal was illegal, and he passed on. He passed on. He died as governor for Hela, and we still recognize him as governor for Hela. Today, I appeal to people of Hela and all the supporters, all the friends and family across the country, more particularly Hela and Southern Highlands, for being with us. I thank them for being with us during the mourning period, for all the support that has been given. And this is a very challenging time. Today, this becomes the business of the Assembly. So Hela Provincial Assembly at its own timing, in consultation with Assembly members and Assembly clerk, we will go and decide the next course of action.
Without a deputy governor currently in the Hela province, one of the sitting MPs will have to take care of the province until a new governor can be elected. Jahab Akia, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The brother of the late Hela Governor Anderson Aguirre has thanked Mr. Aguirre's lawyers and Provincial Assembly members for their roles in finally bringing the Aguirre-Potape case to an end. Speaking after the court decision today, in which the court found Mr. Potape and other members of the Hela Provincial Assembly's conduct illegal, Mr. Aguirre said the governor passed on and politics also has to move on. He emphasized the late governor's belief in God and the Constitution and that all his people respect that. He said Hela people have a lot to lose if they continue to fight amongst themselves. Mr. Aguirre appealed for all parties to work together for the good of the people and the province.
Firstly, I want to take this time to thank PKA lawyers, Osman Koué and RC lawyers, especially Raymond and Goya. You've done a tremendous job. And if I can recall late Aguirre's statement in Anajobol, beginning of this year, he said there was a time when he arrived back from China, he expected nothing of the sort, but there was a court case and court injunction and a little bit of impasse in Hela province. And then when he arrived at Anajobol, he said only God would remove me. I think God has removed him. Well, regardless of what we do on this planet, God can have his own time to be born, and then a time when he wants to take his own life, his own creation. So he took Aguirre away. He believed in that. Two things that he believed in was God himself and the Constitution. So we, as a family members and the tribal groups from Hela, respected that. The 8 days of mourning period and then the removal of house cry, we call it. Customary obligations were done, but life has to move on. The politics of Hela has to move on. Hela is a new province. He has gone on. Hela's, you have a lot to lose if you continue to fight each other. The two sides of the government, and my appeal is to get together, install a governor to move on.
One drop of blood can save 3 lives. That's one of the many messages shared today during the launch of the Youth Blood Drive. The launch took place at the Port Moresby National High School, also coinciding with the World Blood Donor Day, which falls on the 13th of June but was observed today. The drive is a collaborative effort between the Sir Brian Bell Foundation and the Port Moresby General Hospital. It aims to educate the young people of Papua New Guinea about the benefits of giving blood, having some fun, and being comfortable about the process. Esther Bralinwani reports.
The Spread the Red Youth Blood Drive is aimed at providing the young people of this country the understanding and benefits of one drop of blood to save a life. Officiating at the launch was Minister for Health, Michael Malabag, and Minister for Environment and Conservation, John Pundari, Western Highlands Governor Pius Wingti, and other dignitaries such as Miss Pacific Abigail Havora. It was a successful drive, a lot of entertainment for students and youth to enjoy. The Jokema band kept the crowd on its feet with their live performance. Adding more flavor to the event was the presence of the SPPNG Hunters. This drive is a collaborative effort between the Sir Brian Bell Foundation and the Port Moresby General Hospital. And there to represent the Sir Brian Bell Foundation was the granddaughter of Sir Brian Bell, Brownwin Wright. The Master of Ceremony, John Higgins, described her as little but strong lady. Miss Wright talked about the passion of her grandfather and how they come up with the drive.
I saw the passion they had for PNG, and I soon realised we could do something great together. When Anna floated the Youth Blood Drive to me, I knew this would be something exceptional, so here we are today. Blood donation in this country is at critically low levels. The act of donating blood is something that many Papua New Guineans do not do. Simply, they are not aware of the benefits for themselves, but more importantly, they just don't know how big of a difference they make when they do donate.
Health Minister Michael Malabag also took time to explain the importance of donating blood.
It is taught that only 1 in 30 people give blood, but 1 in 3 people will need blood in their lifetime. This is a very important statistic, very important. Regular blood donations by a sufficient number of healthy people are needed to ensure the safe blood will always be available.
Esther Bralinwani, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The flexible open and distance education is working on improving its student records. Field officers from all 22 provinces are being kept abreast through a workshop on information management and system database. The workshop is facilitated by the Department of Education and funded by the World Bank. Mickey Cavera reports.
The training aims to improve food data management through remodeling and upgrading of the existing Student Information Management System or SIMS. This has been lacking over the years, resulting in inconsistent data management. Previous student records have been done manually, which is tedious and time-consuming. These constraints have prompted FOD to source funding from the World Bank and the government of Papua New Guinea to implement these reform initiatives. The funding will complement the installation of internet connectivity undertaken earlier this year. FOD officers from all 22 provinces are attending the training. The participants will be introduced to the new systems of recording student information, including study programs. The workshop started today and will end on Wednesday. Mickey Cavera, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
And we now join Douglas with the weather preview.
Thanks, Jerry. Good evening, everybody. Coming up tonight in the weather outlook, fine weather in some centers, while centers will experience showers and strong winds. I've got all the weather details coming up later in the news. For now, it's back to you, Jerry.
Thank you, Douglas. Coming up next, Goroka Town comes to a standstill this morning as students from the University of Goroka fight over whether they should return to class, and high-profile human rights lawyer Hamal Clooney is hoping to hold Islamic State before the International Criminal Court. Stay with us on NBC National News.